Ever wondered how a baby develops in the first year of life? We start from the first second they come into the world. In the initial 3 months, a baby experiences rapid weight gain and growth. Mobility at this stage is limited with primarily reflexive movements. They are also developing head control. The grasping reflex is present, but intentional movements are limited. In terms of sensory development, their vision is limited, focusing on high-contrast patterns. They respond to sounds, especially familiar voices. Communication is primarily through crying, but they begin cooing and making other simple vocalizations. Feeding during these early months involves breastfeeding or formula feeding every 2 to 3 hours, with intake monitored for proper weight gain. Sleep patterns are irregular, with frequent waking and napping throughout the day. On the social and emotional front, they are developing an attachment to caregivers and have limited social interaction. They display basic emotions like contentment and distress. These first 3 months are a time of rapid growth and development, setting the foundation for the journey ahead. As we move into the next phase, from 3 to 6 months, babies start to interact more with their world. This period sees continued rapid growth, improved head control, and the exciting milestone of rolling over from tummy to back. Babies now make more intentional movements and begin to grasp objects with their little hands. Their sensory development takes a leap forward too, with improved vision and an increasing interest in their surroundings. Their communication skills also evolve, with more intentional vocalizations, laughter, and squeals of delight. It's during this time that babies become responsive to familiar voices. Feeding sees a big change as well, with the introduction of solid foods, starting with rice cereal. Babies also start to develop increased hand-eye coordination in self-feeding. Sleep patterns become more predictable, with longer periods of sleep at night, and the establishment of a bedtime routine. In their social and emotional development, babies start to flash that heart-melting social smile and begin to recognize familiar faces. By the end of 6 months, babies are becoming more interactive and aware of their surroundings. From 6 to 9 months, babies start to become more independent and curious. They begin sitting up on their own, and some may even start crawling. Their coordination improves, and they start reaching for objects with more purpose. You might even catch your little one pulling themselves up to a standing position. Their senses are also evolving. They take an increased interest in textures, objects, and the world around them. Their communication skills become more complex, with babbling that sounds almost like conversation. They also begin to respond to their names and understand simple words. Feeding time becomes an adventure as they start trying soft finger foods, holding and exploring their meals with growing independence. Sleep patterns begin to stabilize, with more predictable nap times offering some relief to parents. Playtime becomes more interactive, and they may start to show signs of stranger anxiety, a normal part of development. As they approach 9 months, babies are starting to engage more with the world around them. In the final stretch, from 9 to 12 months, babies are on the move and ready to explore. This period sees increased mobility, with little ones starting to walk with the support of furniture or helpful hands. They're developing a stronger pincer grasp, which allows them to pick up small objects with more precision. Their curiosity is boundless, as they explore objects by banging and shaking them, a delightful display of their improved motor skills. Depth perception is also getting sharper, aiding them in their exploration. On the communication front, babies are expanding their vocabulary, understanding more words and simple instructions. When it comes to feeding, they start experimenting with a wider variety of textures and show increased independence in self-feeding. Sleep patterns are also changing, with a transition to 1 nap during the day. You'll notice they're more engaged in social play, imitating actions of others and expressing a wider range of emotions. By the end of their first year, babies have reached many important milestones and are eagerly exploring their world. So, that's a whirlwind tour of a baby's first year. It's a time of remarkable transformation, starting with the reflexive movements of the first 3 months, progressing to the intentional movements and social smiles of the 3 to 6 month stage. From 6 to 9 months, your little one may start to sit independently, babble with more complexity, and show distinct emotions. The final 3 months of their first year see our tiny humans walking with support, expanding their vocabulary, and engaging more in social play. However, it's essential to remember that this journey is as unique as your baby. Some might reach these milestones sooner, others might take a bit longer, and that's perfectly okay. It's not a race, but a beautiful unfolding of individual potential. Remember, each baby is unique and these milestones can vary. Regular checkups with a pediatrician provide valuable insights and support for your baby's well-being. Here's to the incredible journey of your baby's first year.